Welcome back, everyone, to the Big Rig Roaster Show. This is your weekly freight market update, and it is New Year's Day, the 1st of January, 2024. Hope you guys had a great time over the holidays. What are your resolutions looking like for the new year? You want to make more money? You want to get a new truck? You want to expand your business? Let us know down in the comments. Hopefully, you're thinking about making some more money. We've made it through 2023, probably one of the worst years in freight history. And we made it through. Congratulations. If you're still in the game, good for you. It's been tough on everyone, me included, if you guys have been following my channel. But yeah, you just got to keep moving forward, never backward. You just got to keep fighting, keep moving forward, and you will win. So let's go ahead and get into the show, guys. First of all, big announcement. We have pre-orders for our coffee live on our website. So go visit bigrigroasters.com and go pre-order your coffee. We only have a limited amount available. There's only 100. Those people are going to be the first to receive the coffee as soon as we ship it. We're hoping to get that delivered by the 1st of February. So please go visit our website and pre-order the coffee. If you purchase that package, you're going to get a free Big Rig Roasters coffee mug with it. And not only that, 25% of the profits from everything that we sell go straight back to the trucking industry through the Big Rig Foundation. So please go check it out, guys. And don't forget, we're still giving our fuel giveaway. But the fuel giveaway, the registration for the fuel giveaway is only live for as long as our pre-orders are live. So as soon as we sell 100 pre-orders, we're stopping registration for the Big Rig Roasters. All you are for the free fuel giveaway. That's 100 gallons, almost $500 worth of fuel that we want to give away. In order to register to win, all you have to do is go sign up on our email list. If you purchase a product, you're going to automatically be added into that as well. But please go sign up for that. That way we can get someone $500 worth of fuel or 100 gallons worth of fuel. And don't forget, if you're watching this on my channel or somewhere else, please go follow the Big Rig Roasters on YouTube. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, and hopefully eventually we'll get on Facebook as well. But let's go ahead and get into the show and get into some news. Our first story is from Mother Trucker. The FMCSA announces new rule to increase all fines for truck drivers. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's hilarious because the big Uncle Sam tells us that inflation is down, but then the FMCSA is raising fines for truck drivers to counteract inflation. It's pretty ridiculous that they have to do this. It's already ridiculous on how much we're finding truck drivers and trucking companies, because a lot of that is getting passed on to the carrier. But it's ridiculous. So you guys go ahead and go down in the comments if you want to hear some more about that from Mother Trucker. There will be a link below. Also, we have a Canadian trucking company that was shut down for an overpass collision. This is from CBC Vancouver. So they the province of British Columbia in Canada is cracking down on oversized violations. They've had over 16 overpass strikes in the last year, and Cohan Trucking is getting shut down after an owner-operator working under their authority who left before he got his permits and got his proper routing, collided with an overpass in Delta, and the whole trucking company is getting shut down. That is brutal. That's one of the hardest parts about having truck drivers and owner-operators, and I haven't heard anything from the truck driver himself, but it sounds like that is really blowing back on the carrier, which is going to be tough for them. And yeah, absolutely. But it sounds like also that their company has had a lot of incidents like this over the past few years. So you got to be careful. You got to watch out who you hire. And can't just be anyone who can be fogging a mirror. And you guys probably saw this one happen already, but there was a semi-truck in Houston that got ripped apart after a high-speed chase. So there was a wild police chase. The truck driver was not pulling over, evading the police, driving recklessly. They disabled the truck with a spike strip, and then the truck driver still refused to exit the vehicle. So the SWAT team tore open the vehicle using a big battering ram, basically. They gassed the truck, sicked a canine on the truck driver, and had to force him to exit the vehicle. We got some guys that are down in the South. They are partying. This is a story from FreightWaves. Thieves steal 19,000 bottles of tequila from U.S. Distributor. Almost $400,000 worth of tequila is missing after the shipment was hijacked somewhere en route to North Carolina, according to officials from the spirits company Daytune Distributors. The Wilmington, North Carolina-based company said in a news release that cargo's thieves stole 19,000 bottles of tequila sometime after the shipment arrived in the U.S. from Mexico, according to the report from WRAL. That's crazy. Those guys are going to be having a great time. That really sucks, though. I can't imagine that cost is probably coming down on someone's insurance company, but that's crazy that they stole that much liquor. California has extended the registration deadline for the California Clean Truck Check. This is also a story from FreightWaves. California has tacked on another month for a key registration deadline impacting trucks operating in the state. The California Air Resources Board, or CARB, said Tuesday it would extend the deadline for trucks to be registered for the state's Clean Truck Check to January 31st. The deadline has been New Year's Eve. So it was supposed to be yesterday. They extended it a month. The reason that they're doing that, not exactly sure. It seems as though maybe that they're not getting everyone to register like they want to. That's, I think what happens when you put the cart before the horse. Try to reserve my opinions for myself, but I know how you guys let us know how you feel down in the comments about what California's doing with this. They also have some stuff going on in the dry edge arena in regards to the emissions vehicles as well. So that's our news. Not a lot happening. It's been a slow week, Christmas and New Year's. So there's probably been less people on the road, less things happening. There is a few things. In regards to stocks, let's get into it. Tesla is trading at $248.40 a share. That's down $4.70 a share. And they're continuing that downward trajectory since May. Nikola is down a cent, trading at 87 cents a share. Not much change. They've pretty much been in a consistent decline since September. Cummins is trading at $239.57 a share, which is down $1. But they've been trending upward since November still. PACCAR is trading at $97.65 a share, which is down 18 cents, but they're still continuing that climb since November. Volvo is trading at 26 even a share, which is down 19 cents, but still they're continuing that trending upward climb. So obviously a lot of these guys dipped a little bit during they're probably because of their second quarter's earnings report. They're down a little bit, but they're still on a consistent climb. Daimler is trading at $18.70 a share, which is down 3 cents, but they're still on their steady climb since November. TFI is still on an upward trajectory since that spike after they acquired Deseki. They're trading at $135.98 a share, which is up 19 cents, and they've been on this upward trend since June. Still waiting to hear what's going to happen with opening their new truckload division. FedEx is trading at $252.97 a share, which is down 61 cents. They've still been trending upwards since May, and it seems like they might be recovering from their earnings dip. UPS is trading at $157.23 a share, which is down 8 cents. They've been on a slight downward trend since May. Not much going on, but they may be recovering from their earnings dip as well. Moving into the oil and fuel side, our national average is up, guys. We've been on an 8-week downward trend for fuel, and it finally spiked up. Not a whole lot. We're at $3.91 a gallon for the national average, which is only up 2 cents from last week. It's still down 62 cents from last year, so we're still at a better place fuel price wise. But it's making me a little bit nervous because of the Red Sea crisis. The oil the price of oil has gone up. So there's a possibility that could affect our fuel prices moving into the future. Obviously, it takes a couple of weeks or months for these things to play out. But we have seen a little bit of a rise, so our downward trend has now stopped. We'll see if that's just a blip. If we continue to go down, if we continue to stay in the area, hopefully we don't see a dramatic rise because of what's going on with the Red Sea crisis. On the East Coast, we're at an average of $4.02 a gallon. The Midwest is at $3.79 a gallon. The Gulf Coast is at $3.60 per gallon. Rocky Mountain is at $3.91 a gallon. Your West Coast average is $4.65 a gallon. Without California, it's at $4.16 because California is at $5.20 a gallon. So still winning is the Gulf Coast. Everywhere else is pretty close to that $4. Besides the Midwest isn't too bad. It's only at $3.79. Oil prices, we're at $72.23 a barrel. That's up $3.12 a barrel from last week. So there is that rise in oil. We'll see how that reflects going into after the refinement process. But crude oil is up a little bit. Still not significant. It hasn't been a significant jump. It's just stopped our downward trend. Moving into some of our analytics. Okay, looking at the DAT stuff. Hold on, I got to expand my screen here because I'm blind. And I can't see without me glasses. Okay, so industry trends from DAT week over week. Our spot load, I'm going to put this up right here so you guys can see it. Our spot load posts are down 3.6%. So we have a little bit less on the board. That's probably to be imagined because it's this dead week right here, right now, right? A lot of people are off. A lot of people aren't driving. The truck posts are down 14%. Talking about ratios, though, for van load to truck ratio, that's up 9.7%, which is great because the last 2 weeks there was a pretty major dip in that. So we're seeing that there's more van posts on the board. That also probably has to deal with people are trying to get stuff moved during this week, but there's not as many trucks that are working. So obviously that ratio is probably going to go up. Hopefully that carries into the next into the new year. Van spot rates on DAT are up 2.4%. Flatbed load to truck ratio hasn't seen too much change on DAT. It's down 0.2%, which is nothing. Spot rates are up 2.1% for flatbed on DAT. Again, that's probably due to holiday weekend trying to get stuff moved. So obviously the rates are going to go up to try to get it done. Your reefer load to truck ratio, this is significant. Reefer load to truck ratio is up 41%, which is huge. So there's a ton more reefer loads on the DAT board, and reefer spot rates are up 3.1%. Sorry, can't read. 3.1%. So that's where we're at on DAT. Moving over to the truck stop side. All right, we're going to talk about some of our load densities. There's a few areas to watch out for. So there's a few areas that were really hot last week. For flatbed, it was Gulf Coast and particularly Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas, I believe, and then the PNW. And everything was kind of going to the mountain states. Still, those areas are hot, but they have slowed down a little bit. For van, I believe it was Ohio and some of those plains, mid-east states or Midwestern states, and then the mid-east is still slow, just like it was last week. But we'll go through our ratios. So for the western states, we'll put this one up right here as well. California is the only thing that's really they have a high volume of is the specialized loads. They've got quite a bit going out for specialized. Everything else, they've got more loads dropping off than picking up going into California. Idaho is looking pretty hot for van and reefer. When I say pretty hot, they definitely have more volume than capacity, but they only got 200 loads on the board for van, so it's not huge. Nevada's kind of Oregon is looking good for flatbed. Like I said, not a lot going on. They only got 250 loads on the board, but they still got a good truck to ratio capacity. And then Washington is kind of in the same boat as far as flatbed loads go. They got about 200 loads on the board and only 120 trucks dropping off. Let's move to the plain states. Not a lot of standouts here. Kansas has some good action going on for van, and they got a good ratio for reefer, but not a ton of stuff moving. South Dakota, again, not a ton of stuff moving, but they do have a good ratio going for flatbed. They got 130 loads on the board. Moving into where it's getting busy is the Midwestern states, all right? Iowa's got a decent amount going on for van and specialized. Illinois and Indiana are both hot for everything. They got good load ratios for everything on the board. Especially Illinois has over 1,000 van loads on the board. So if you guys can get to that area or starting off from there, you should be looking good. You should be able to get some good rates. Michigan is hot for everything. Minnesota is hot for the flatbed and the reefers. Missouri is hot for van and reefer. Ohio is hot for flatbed and vans. Wisconsin, across the board. West Virginia, not a lot going on, but they do have a good ratio going on the vans. So it sounds like right now, Midwestern and Southern is the place to be. There's not a whole lot going on in the mountain states or on the West Coast. So you probably want to stay down there, south and east, and to try to keep your stuff going, or at least that's where you want to be headed if you're starting off from the West Coast. As far as the southern states go, Alabama, which was our hitter last week, they had over 1,000 loads on the board for flatbed. They still got almost 900 loads on the board right now, and they only got 250 loads coming in. So Alabama is still the place to go if you're looking for flatbed loads. Arkansas is doing pretty good for flatbed and van. Georgia is really hot for flatbed. And they're pretty even for van, but they got a lot going on, and they got some specialized stuff going on as well. Louisiana is looking pretty good for flatbed and van. Mississippi is moving a ton of flatbed. That's also a good spot to go. You got 450 loads on the board and only 50 coming in. And then vans got some decent movement too. South Carolina is also super hot for flatbed and doing pretty decent for van as well. And then we move into our northeastern states, which I don't care about, but what we're looking at, like I said, not a lot of volume going on. Maryland is actually pretty hot for flatbed. They got 350 loads on the board. New Jersey has got a decent amount moving for van and reefer. New York does have a decent amount moving for van. And then Pennsylvania is looking pretty good for flatbed, and they've actually got quite a lot of van action going on. All the rest are like insignificant amount of numbers. I would suggest staying out of those areas. So looking at the analytics, guys, I would say definitely flatbed for sure. You're looking at Gulf Coast, and then for the van and reefer, that Eastern Plains like Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan seems to be a decent area right now going for that. And yeah, so that's where we're at. It's going to be a short episode, guys. Like I said, you know, holiday week, not a whole bunch to talk about. Try to make it a little bit more concise so you guys can get the info that you're looking for without having to deal with a whole bunch of me talking. But that's what we're looking at. Again, I just want to wish you guys a happy new year. Congratulations on making it through 2023. It's been a hell of a year. Please stay safe with the winter weather we got going on. We're about to get into the cold months. There's going to be snow. There's going to be ice. So slow it down. Stay safe. Remember, no load is worth your life. Let us know what you'd like to see from the show down in the comments. We're working on a couple other episodes. We're going to be doing some interviews and talking about some other things happening in the industry. But any comments, suggestions you guys have, please feel free to drop it down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help support us and get the word out there. That way we can get Big Rig Roasters rolling and get some foundation money flowing. Hey, that rhymed. I was a poet and I didn't even know it. I'm so lame. Also, please go follow our main channels, the Big Rig Roasters on YouTube, as well as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and help us support the foundation. Don't forget to go pre-order your coffee, all right? That way you guys can be registered to win that 100 gallons worth of fuel. Thanks so much for watching. We will catch you guys in the next video.